Decoded.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're cracking open a book that honestly gives a really fascinating look at one of the biggest names in tech today and the whole world he's involved in building.
Exactly. We've got the source material right here, and we're going to pull out the key stories, the big ideas, and maybe some stuff for you to chew on, all straight from these pages.
Yeah, it's kind of a look behind the curtain at Sam Altman. And what struck me reading this source is just how early some of these patterns started.
Oh, absolutely. The source paints this picture of him being, well, different from the get-go, teaching himself programming as a kid.
Right, and not just coding, but like envisioning computers that could think. The source mentions his mom saying he was kind of born an adult at age 2. That's pretty intense.
It really is. And then, being pulled out of third grade to show teachers how to use computers, it sets a certain tone.
Definitely. The source also gives some family background, which adds context. His dad, Jerry, worked on affordable housing, actually inspiring the low-income housing tax credit.
Yeah, and his mom, Connie, a dermatologist who saw the AIDS epidemic firsthand. The source suggests that maybe instilled a certain work ethic,
It also presents information regarding his sister Annie's struggles and allegations, and the family's response. It's laid out purely as content from the source material itself.
Right, just reporting what the source includes. Then moving on, the source tracks him to Stanford, but not for long.
No, the startup bug bit early, Viendo, and then dropping out after winning that competition and meeting Patrick Chung from NEA.
And the source pulls out a key lesson from that time Altman apparently learned he needed to be, and the quote is, really persistent in deals. Uses Boost Mobile as the example.
Persistence seems like a theme, but Loopt, his first big swing described in the source, it wasn't easy.
No, not at all. The source talks about real challenges, competition like Foursquare, obviously, but also weird practical stuff like a dangerous spiral staircase in the office.
Seriously, a staircase hazard.
Apparently. And the source mentions this internal observation about shiny object syndrome, getting distracted. Shows it wasn't a straight line to success.
Makes sense. The source also points to key influences, right? Like Paul Graham at Y Combinator.
Absolutely. Make something people want. That core YC idea.
Yeah.
And that founders are, king. Plus Peter Thiel.
Thiel's famous no flying cars critique of tech stagnation. The source suggests that really resonated, pushing for bigger, more transformative bets.
And that leads directly into the whole AI fascination, which the source covers in depth. Ideas like the singularity, but also the dangers.
Yeah, the source mentions figures like Eliezer Yudkowsky, the sort of AI doomer view, and Nick Bostrom's paperclip maximizer idea. These weren't just abstract fears.
No, the source argues these concerns were actually central to recruiting early OpenAI talent, people who were worried and wanted to build it safely.
Which brings us to OpenAI's founding itself. The source describes this vision. Build powerful AGI, but do it safely for everyone. Started as a nonprofit.
Right. And the source names key co-founders Musk, Greg Brockman, Ilya Sutskever. Thiel was involved too, that initial $1 billion commitment. Musk's idea, according to the source, to try and compete.
And they ran into issues early, didn't they? The source mentions the GPT-2 release controversy.
Yeah, that hesitation about releasing it fully due to misuse fears caused a bit of a stir, as the source reports.
Yeah.
And training GPT-3.
Well, they used the Common Crawl data set.
Meaning the whole internet.
Pretty much, including, as the source puts it, its ugliest parts.
So dealing with harmful content became a huge challenge right away.
The source also connects OpenAI to his other big bets like WorldCoin.
The whole iris scan for UBI idea.
And Helion energy for fusion power. The book suggests these aren't separate things, but part of a bigger picture for the infrastructure needed for an AI future.
Which sets the stage for the dramatic events the source recounts from November 2023. The firing.
Yeah, the board's stated reason, reported in the source, was him being not consistently candid. Wild few days.
Totally. The source covers the huge public reaction, the employees rallying, his quick return, and then key people like Brockman and Sutskever leaving. Plus, that issue reported in the source about separation agreements. It was messy.
Definitely a major inflection point described in the text. So, looking ahead, what's the takeaway from the source about Altman's current focus?
It's all about the intelligence age, as he calls it, pushing for massive, almost unprecedented investment in compute power and energy infrastructure.
He argues, according to the source, that you need huge public and private funding to make sure AI benefits everyone, avoids making inequality worse. Maybe a nod back to his dad's work?
Perhaps he frames it, the source says, as vital for humanity's future.
Okay, wow. So we've basically done a high-speed tour through this source's account, from a kid dreaming of thinking machines to grappling with the immense power, cost, and drama of AI development. It's a complex picture.
Absolutely. Ambition, innovation, controversy, it's all in there.
And it leaves you thinking, if this intelligence age really is coming, and it requires this kind of colossal infrastructure build-out the source describes Altman pushing for, how do we actually ensure, practically speaking, that its benefits reach everyone? How do we stop it from just widening the gaps we already have? Something to ponder.